All right, y'all, welcome back to another tier list video. Today we're gonna be doing a little special iteration. So since I'm just recently finished all of Jojo up until, part 9's recent chapter coming out, I decided, what better time than ever to make a official, correct Jojo's Bizarre Adventure tier list. So without further ado, let's get on into it. Starting, we're probably going to go in chronological order too. So let's start off with part 1, Phantom Blood. Man, I never really cared too much about this part as a whole. The only one reason I really cared about it was mainly Dio. I'll put it in C tier because, alright, so Jonathan is like the most goody two shoes, like the most basic and boring JoJo in a way, at least for me, because he just has nothing like cool or like outlandish about him like the other JoJos that we'll go through and list now. But this part also introduced the core fundament of the series, Dio and the whole vampire thing, at least for part 1 and 2. Hamon was kind of boring because like it just didn't hit as Stan did in the later series, and I just didn't vibe with part 1 as much, and it was the shortest part out of all of them too, so there's that. But moving on from that C tier, Battle Tendency. I'm gonna give this a C as well. I'm gonna put this in D and put this in C. Yeah, that seems more accurate. So with Battle Tendency, I genuinely didn't care for a majority of the characters besides Joseph himself. Joseph carried this part on his own. The Pillarmen were okay. Cars was kind of like eh. Wamu was good. Wamu was a good villain. I liked his little dynamic. Caesar, he was an okay Joe bro. Lisa, she was cool. What else? I mean, this part didn't really have too much to say about it. The best part was probably the finale with the cars fight, with Joseph just using every ounce of his luck to literally win the fight, because he was not killing cars. If you watch the show, Ultimate Lifeform Cars was going to mop the floor with everybody. Hell, he's the reason why Joseph lost his arm. But anywho, yeah, we're just gonna leave that at the clean C tier for now. Now we move on to Stardust Crusaders. Now. Oh, actually, do I want to put this in A tier? No, I'll put this in B. Now, this is kind of crazy because people regard part 3 as like the poster of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Because I mean, you got this is where majority of JoJo memes even came from, like the Dio walking pose, the "oh, you're approaching me" and all that nonsense. But this part, my main problem with it was, for the most part, it didn't really matter who they were fighting until they really got to Egypt, because what they did in part 3, at least with the anime, I don't know what they did with the manga, but and they split it up into 2 sections. I think this is the longest part of JoJo now that I think about it, because both were 24 episodes before and after they got to Egypt. I feel like everything before, like after they got like the main crew, like Iggy, Kakyoin, Abdal, and Polonodov, everyone else after that didn't really matter. It was this fight of the week until they got to like the final few episodes where they got to Egypt, and then it just, yeah, the first half of part 3 was kind of eh. This is the Jotaro show of him beating up everybody with occasional everyone else. Now, after they got to Egypt is when things cranked up, because shit was starting to hit the fan fast. Because they had to find out where Dio was, what was happening. Avdol got shot again. Freaking, they thought he died for a while. Came back, pissed in a guy's mouth. Yeah, I know. That sounds incredibly terrible, but trust me, it was gas. And for the most part, the Egypt arc was entertaining. I mean, you had the whole stand of the week or whatever, fighting some random guy. But when they got to Dio's mansion, God, it was freaking crazy. Cause I mean, you had Jotaro and Joseph just doing like whatever the hell, freaking playing video games while oh yeah, and Kakyoin as well. He was there too. But Iggy, Polnareff, and Avdo, they were just fighting for their lives while they were just goofing around. Hell, Avdo got framed, one chopped in half, and then freaking Iggy, for a dog, he gave me an emotional ass death. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. That actually kind of hurt because Vanilla Ice was he was built different, but not as built different as Dio when they got dog. When Kakyoin, God, he was really about to pack up Dio, like freaking had this whole elaborate trap just for this man to get donutted, fisted right through the guts, just like nothing happened, because nothing technically happened from his point of view, which is crazy. And if you're watching JoJo and like you don't know what the hell Dio's stand is, you're gonna be confused. Cause you're like, damn, did he just teleport? And then Joseph is panicking, freaking, oh shit, wait, what was Kakyoin's dying message? And they was like, stop time. But then Dio was just laughing, they're like, okay, what you gonna do with this information? Then Jotaro pulls up, theme song and everything, gets cut in half because Dio stopped time, murked Joseph, and then Jotaro is getting all pissy about it. And Dio's is, being Dio, being a dickhead. But, Dio's a freaking phenomenal villain. I don't know why, but I just love Dio, so. And then it had the old Jotaro. Oh, it's the same type of Standard Star Platinum, so he ended up beating Dio in like a little old Western shoot off, and that shit was kind of raw, so. But overall, the Dio mansion part, if I were to rank the Dio's mansion, I would probably put it in S tier. But if I'm taking like everything into account, I have to put it B. Now, Diamond is Unbreakable gets an easy A tier because this part, it was like an intermission in a way, because Jotaro, he's trying to recover because Jotaro's got massive PTSD from the Dio fight, which comes into play later. But Jotaro's more grown up now. He got a clean fit, visiting what was it, Morio? And you got Josuke, you got the main crew, Josuke, Koichi the goat, Okuyasu, and Rohan. And they just, doing rant, like, fighting stand of the week and all that. But it feels more at home because in part 4, the way they did it is because like everything affects the town. It's just in one space. They're not constantly moving. It's all in one small town. So everything that is affecting is just an overarching story and just builds upon itself in a really nice way. Josuke is a great protagonist. Bro's is got charisma, love his stand ability. What was it? Crazy, yeah, Crazy Diamond. Not as cool as Star Platinum, because Star Platinum's just, yeah, but. And freaking Kira Yoshikage. This man was a really good villain. Hell, I think I might like him more than Dio. He's not even my favorite villain in JoJo, but we'll get to that when we get to that. But that entire like section of him like ripping off like and just replacing his whole identity, becoming Kosaku, whatever. I'll pull up a picture of it in the mid, but and then that entire section of freaking bites the dust. That shit was insane. But yeah, part 4, easy A tier from me. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we get to hold on. We're just gonna make a little adjustment right here. All right, JoJo's part 5. Now, I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for this, for putting JoJo's part 5 so high up, but let me tell y'all why. Because part 5, out of all the parts, is something more special to me, because I was watching this shit week to week, and this was some of the most exciting time as an anime fan for me, because the cast was so vibrant for me, because you got my personal favorite JoJo, Giorno Giovanna. You got debatably the best Jobro, Bucciarati. You got Narancha, who's one of my favorite characters as well. Fugo's a bum. Abakio is also a bum, but the ladies love him for some reason. And you got Mista, who's there, and Trish. Can't forget Trish. Trish is a goat. To be fair, you know, the most of the story revolves around Trish. So with part 5, what I like is because they did sort of what they did with part 3, the whole stand of the week, but it was actually related more, because what the funny thing is, the first half of part 5 had, what was it, La Squadra versus Passione, aka Giorno's gang, and La Squadra was trying to get to Trish because Trish would connect to the boss, because they were trying to get Trish to the boss in the first place. So they had to go through La Squadra and keep fighting them one by one until they got to the boss. But the crazy thing is, the reason why the boss wanted Trish, aka his daughter, was just to kill her to remove his freaking faulty past in the first place. So Passione was like, damn, that's kind of fucked up. So we gotta put a stop to this and stop him himself. No, except for Fugo, because I mean Fugo's a bitch, so he left. But to be fair, I feel like Araki wrote Fugo out the story because like his stand was kind of broken, but that's besides the point. And then you get to the second half of Golden Wind, aka Vento Rodeo, part 5, where Passione is now trying to pursue the boss, kind of like how La Squadra was. So in a way, the first half was like trying to fight off the people getting to the boss, and then the second half is trying to get to the boss themselves. And then they because the funny thing is, I always thought about if they knew about the boss's intentions, they probably could have teamed up with La Squadra, but that's a different topic. And the finale of part 5, freaking, oh my god, it introduced to this day, my favorite stand in the series, Gold Experience Requiem. Oh man, this stand, bro. Hell, even in the anime community as a whole, this stand has caused so many problems, because you can make a debate Giorno beats Goku, and Dragon Ball fans will just be confused on why. Then you gotta explain, and it's so funny. It's just such a cool ass design, cool ass power. With my favorite Jojo, I just love it. And the music in the part was just phenomenal. Well, y'all know. But yeah, part 5 gets a zenith of the medium. Part 6, S tier. I used to be a part 6 hater, I'm not gonna lie to y'all, mainly because of the ending. I hated the ending at first, and then the anime adapted it, you know, doing what David Productions doing what they do. Okay, so but for me, the anime, it probably would have been more hype if it was week to week instead of being released in batches, because Netflix wanted to do some stupid stuff. But yeah, but the cast of characters in part 6 were really good. Emporio, you know, little bro clutching up sometimes. Aramis, you know, Black Queen doing what we do. Jolyne, I would say one of the best JoJo's. Like, not even just being completely biased, she's one of the best. Honestly, he was okay. He clutched up at the end of the series though, during the Pucci fight. My god, he was carrying. Like, he was the reason why most of them even survived for that long. But I'm not gonna get into major spoilers for part 6's ending, because if you haven't watched it, I mean, it's fucking crazy. But Pucci, really good villain, because they continued off with the Dio storyline, because Pucci was a old friend of Dio to attain heaven, and the whole heaven plot line was really interesting to go through, because you got to see Pucci's stand evolve from White Snake to Sea Moon to Made in Heaven. Made in Heaven is a crazy ass stand. I'm not gonna go into it, but here's a picture of what it looks like. And yeah, part 6, that was a crazy ass ride, and a really good finale to at least the first half of JoJo. Back to the Zenith tier goes Steel Ball Run. Yeah. So with Steel Ball Run, the reason why I put it in Zenith is because the first half was okay, which is weird, but you know, it's just the second half of Steel Ball Run might be the strongest JoJo part 2, like, period. Like, not ignoring my love for part 5, the Steel Ball Run second half is phenomenal. Funny Valentine, undisputed best villain in JoJo. You cannot argue that, because his idea, because in a way, if you really wanted to twist the narrative, you could see Funny Valentine as the protagonist, because everything he's doing for his citizens, because he's the main villain of part 7 is the president of the United States, which is crazy. And I love the way they do it, and love dirty deeds done dirt cheap. D4C, phenomenal stand, cool ass abilities. And the thing I love about Funny Valentine too is because his stand D4C, so basically what it does is it lets him either so let's say you are fighting Funny Valentine, he could get an alternate version or alternate reality version of you, and if y'all collide with each other, you basically explode and die because two of you can't exist. However, this rule does not apply to himself, so if he wanted to get 2 Funny Valentines, there's nothing you can do about it. However, but there is a trade-off, because only one of them can have D4C. So let's say you kill one Funny Valentine, he can just go to another timeline, get another one, because Funny Valentine trusts himself so much that he'll carry out the duties of the previous, and so on and so forth. So unless you have a broken stand that can keep him in suspended motion, like, you know, Tusk Act 4, one of the strongest stands in the series, you're not beating him, plain and simple. So, and Gyro was a really good Joe, bro. I love his little dynamic with Johnny. That entire thing was fantastic. And the funny thing about part 7 is this is the only part of Jojo where you can say Jesus Christ was canonically in my series, and no one can deny that. The Bible is a Jojo reference. I said it. Let me stop. But on a real note, I also did love the character growth of Johnny becoming basically a stuck-up jackass to an actually decent person by the end of the series through the long and imperious road that he took with Gyro. Is just a whole. Moving on to the final part, Jolyne. I might have to give this a B tier. So for me, because I just recently finished Jolyne, so I'm still fresh off the series. But for the most part, I didn't really care for a majority of the characters in this series. Like, outside of Josuke himself and Yasuo, I did not care for anyone else except for maybe Noriyusuke, the father of the household. Most of the characters are just boring. I just didn't care for them. And I mean, Soft and Wet was a cool stand and all that other stuff. But also, the main thing putting Jolyne in B instead of C tier was the final arc with Wonder of You. I'm not gonna spoil it too much, but all I'm gonna say is Wonder of You can make a case for it being also the strongest stand in the series, because it's stupid, completely dumb by what it does, and it's one of my favorite designs. But the trade-off for Wonder of You is the final villain, Toru. He sucks. He just plain out sucks as a character, because they put him out of nowhere. He just randomly popped up at the end of the series just to fuck things up, and it just didn't feel natural like the other characters, especially Funny Valentine from the part before, and it just felt off. Yeah, I mean, it had some cool moments like this one right here, and you know, the cool moments couldn't save it from the pitfalls of the other parts of the part. So yeah, this is the complete Jojo tier list. I think I'm happy with everything. You can, do I want? Nah, yeah, everything can stay the same here. Actually, you know what? Screw it. There we go. Part 4 is better than part 3, but yeah. This is the complete correct Jojo tier list. Part 5 being the zenith, followed by 7, followed by 6, and 4, 3, 8, 2, and then 1. That's about it for this one though. If you disagree with me, tell me why in the comment section. I'll be glad to see why you disagree and why I can call you incorrect. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to help boost the channel. Trying to reach 50 by Lightfall, if that's possible. And until the next one, I shall see y'all later. Johnny.